Hey guys, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video of Show It Some Love, we are tackling Assassination Classroom. Assassination Classroom is one of my favorite anime and manga series. Just let that be clear. This show is fantastic, and unfortunately, it has been done since 2016. And unfortunately, it will never have any more, which makes the Show It Some Love title a bit weird. But if you guys haven't seen or read this amazing series, then I absolutely recommend it. It's one of the greatest shows that I've ever seen. And unfortunately, it's one of the few shows that is a calamity story that is done well. I talked a little bit about this in my Dark Crystal review, and how writing a story where you know what's going to happen is actually one of the most dangerous things that you can do. For this, you know that we are given two options right off the start. Either the cast is going to kill their teacher, or their world will be destroyed. That's it. Those are your two options. There's obviously a few extra options, and knowing how long this series is, you may think, oh, wow, that's actually not that long. Maybe they definitely succeeded. But actually, since this show takes place over about a year, like just a little bit more, it's actually insane how much they were able to pack into this. Assassination Classroom, while it may sound like it's going to be a dark story about these kids that want to kill their teacher, it really isn't. This show is about the dynamic between a teacher and his students, and how all of the class grows to love their teacher, even though they know that eventually they will have to assassinate him. And it's actually really an amazing and moving story. I don't want to spoil things too much, but needless to say, if you're not crying in the last few episodes, then I don't know if you're human. Because if once you know what's going on, it's hard not to. This show ends with one of the saddest endings that there is. And it's because of the development that is coming through Koro Sensei and all of his students. A few things of note about what is bad about this show is that you don't really get to know every single student as much as, well, you should. One of the best show that I can think of that does well with making sure that you remember every single character is My Hero Academia, which you can guarantee I will be doing a Show It Some Love of it eventually. Just not yet, because it's actually really popular, so we'll see what happens. But with Assassination Classroom, there's not that many characters that you'll remember. You'll obviously remember Koro Sensei because, well, let's be honest, it's about him. But you'll also remember Nagisa, who is, of course, the main character aside from Koro Sensei, and Karma. That might be the only people that you remember their names. And Karma is mostly because his name's super easy, barely inconvenience. And yes, I did just make a reference. Which is oddly fitting for this show. This show makes so many fourth wall breaks, it's actually ridiculous. There are things from mentioning Food Wars to showing a clip that is obviously based off Attack on Titan, and even saying things like, do we have the rights to the happy birthday song near the end? It's kind of amazing. All of the amazing things that they do throughout this show. And honestly, if you haven't watched it, it's really sad. Characters like Nagisa have an amazing dynamic with Koro-sensei, being not just the teacher, but basically a father figure. Especially considering the fact that some of these characters don't have a father figure. And we get to see how this class that is the bottom of the barrel grows and becomes the top tier students of all of them. And it absolutely is amazing. So, if you're going to check out any show that is done, I would recommend Assassination Classroom. There are other shows that are done and dusted. Nothing more is going to come from them. But this is the show that you really should take a look at if you ever get the chance. Now, I don't know if Yusui Matsui is ever going to continue the show, but it looks unlikely. He's only ever made Assassination Classroom, and while the show could continue with following Nagisa, I don't really see it as likely. So, yeah. I do absolutely recommend checking out this show and falling in love with the characters as much as I do. But be aware that the last few episodes may very well make you cry, especially if you know what they're saying, and especially in the OP. The songs are actually something that I do want to talk about. I've talked about them in discussion briefly before, but shows like Assassination Classroom are some of the very few shows that actually have the cast, well, the Japanese cast at least, being the ones to sing the OPs. It's the only one that I know of that's actually done besides harem animes. There are obviously a few others, but primarily it's the only one. So, if you if you want to see something like that and see how talented these characters are and the amazing story that they tell through these amazing books and amazing songs, then definitely check them out. But anyways, guys, I hope you give Assassination Classroom a chance, and hopefully you will enjoy it. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you love this show or you have other shows that you want to suggest, then please leave them down in the comments. And if you're new, please subscribe and ring that notification bell. We do a lot of videos like this where we talk about shows that I enjoy, as well as doing a lot of theories about shows that are going on. But anyways, guys, like I said, I have been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on!